require that. But what I was talking about was where it plugs in on the front here, where the temperature probe plugs into. It has a tendency to the back of it, and you can look, each one of you can come up here, I'll bring it around to each one of you. The way that it's mounted on the back of here. This is metal in the front, but it's plastic on the back, and that plastic has a tendency to heat up because it gets very hot inside here. There's a heater pipe, and it gets brittle and it cracks. And when it cracks, as I said before, this right here, as it goes to the metal, it looks like this. And it has the two wires coming out of it. This is all threaded. And there's a plastic piece that goes over it that actually screws down and clamps this and the plastic between the metal. That's what holds it in place. So when you plug this in and plug it out, the temperature probe on this is on the 2100, you plug it in and out, over time it has a tendency to start wobbling this plastic, breaking the plastic, especially when it gets hot inside there. It gets very hot inside there and it starts to get brittle and it cracks over time.
Yeah,
so eventually, pardon?
This is classic.
Yeah, the back of that there?
Like for headphones.
Yes, it's plastic on the back of that. So it gets brittle over time, especially that heat pipe that's in there. That heat pipe in there gets up to 37 degrees when it's heating up the water. So that plastic piece, as I said before yesterday, that threads over it, it ends up getting cracks in it. And it splits apart, so now the threads on it it's not gonna hold it tight. And that thing's nice and loose, and customers plugging in and out, they'll end up pulling that plug out, is what they'll end up doing. You can do one of two things. You can either, A, change it. That's the first thing. And changing it would be taking these two wires, they go into a plug, is pushing the pins out on the connector, taking the wires off, taking that plastic piece off and putting a new plastic piece on, putting the pins back. Or, if it's a temporary fix, and if you don't have that piece, I know that piece can be hard to come by at times. I have a couple, but you'd have to order them. Maybe you don't have it with you in your bin stock. Is I usually back it off a little bit. I'll drop a drop of super glue on it, and wrap it with black electrical tape. Let it dry for a little bit, and then thread it back on. That'll usually hold until the next repair cycle. Just giving you a little helpful advice with the 2100.
So guys, just one quick thing. If you haven't already talked to, the guys that run your company, or if you guys have the authority to do it, you might want to think about, taking inventory of what you guys have within your market. Some are going to be bigger, some are going to be smaller, and say, okay, if we have 2100s, what are the key parts that we need to stock, especially with 2100s right now, because some of those things are going to start to go obsolete. Some of them are already obsolete.
Yes.
Okay, so if you have those and you think you're going to need those spare parts, I recommend get them now and stock them. Like in Slovenia, you got mostly 2100s,
Yeah, 7 of them.
So you might want to stock some stuff because eventually it's going to be gone and you're not going to be able to get it. And you do it now, you're going to be able to do it before the other distributors and customers order them. So it's more likely we have them. Okay, so just consider that. I don't know what Jeff does for you guys, but if you guys have some crazy huge order of like $10,000 or more, then we can help try to give a little extra, price break or something. Okay, but usually we draw that line at like $10,000. So if you guys go over that even by $1, we could help out or something. Okay. Or Miroslav, like Beta Tech, I know you guys have a boatload of 2100s between Habitats and Teva and everybody else. So, Boris is
See all of them.